Hello, my name is Andrew Grant. I'll be refuting Brittany Abbott's vegan diet speech. Now, in her presentation, her main claim was that a vegan diet has positive health effects on human beings. And her supporting claims are that a vegan diet positively affects kids, the vegan diet has positive health effects, and a vegan diet, or if you're doing a vegan diet, you'll save money. Her main claim that a vegan diet has positive health effects on human beings is something I do not entirely agree with. This claim is too vague and may lead the audience. A claim I would agree with would be a vegan diet may have some positive health effects, but is overshadowed by the negative ones. Brittany began her claim of fact speech stating that with her supporting claim, a vegan diet positively affects kids. No. Hallelujah Acres, a clinic that advocates healthy lifestyles, researcher Michael Donaldson, a Cornell PhD, affirmed, our study revealed early signs of vitamin B12 deficiency in 26 of the 54 people tested after following the vegan diet for as little as 2 to 4 years. Infants and small children are particularly vulnerable to B12 shortages. Ensuring adequate B12 is critical for normal neurological development and maintenance, with shortages resulting in permanent damage. This is known as failure to thrive, FTT. Brittany's second supporting claim, a vegan diet has positive health effects, also suffers from the same ambiguity as her main claim. In fact, the supporting claim is committing the fallacy of presumption. She is overlooking the facts. Yes, a vegan diet can reduce or help eliminate type 2 diabetes, as she stated, but what else can a vegan diet do for you? Chet Day, owner and operator of Health and Beyond, stated, it is now evident that deficiencies of vitamin D, zinc, iron, and calcium can and do occur in strict vegans. To be more specific about what may occur when following a strict vegan diet, Chet Day also collaborated a list of symptoms from his received mail of long-term vegans and raw foodists that he said he received on an all too regular basis. Inadequate milk production for nursing mothers, as well as retarded physical and mental development in some children who are strictly on a vegan or raw food diet, general lack of vitality, inability to gain weight, amenorrhea, when menstrual cycles cease, inability to conceive, hair loss, nail problems, loss of libido, the list goes on. Let me briefly touch bases on Brittany's third and last claim, that vegans save money while on the vegan diet. She backed up her third claim by stating, you can save money by buying in-season fruits in bulk rather than buying meats. This is true. You can certainly save money when you purchase fruits instead of meats. But at what cost is this savings? Brittany said that you could save money on visits to the doctor due to a vegan lifestyle, but again, at what cost? This cost is very evident, especially with the information I have just presented to you. It is safe to say you will save money on the vegan diet. You only have to forfeit your health, which kind of counteracts why you became vegan in the first place. I have thusly proven false all three of Brittany's claims. The vegan diet may positively affect kids, have positive health effects, and you'll save money on the vegan diet. And only now can you see as I do when I say a vegan diet may have some positive health effects, but is overshadowed by the negative ones. Thank you.
All right, the labeling on the claims is clear. You're challenging on the first point basically by trying to minimize any particular benefits, talking about what the negative consequences are, and you've got a good listing of potential issues there. You've got specific evidence that applies to the claim that the advocate presented on that point. What's missing is any discussion of the advocate's own evidence or their reasoning. So I think your counterclaim is pretty solid here given the evidence that you presented, but it wouldn't hurt your argument to challenge the legitimacy of the evidence that the advocate presented on this point or show how their reasoning is problematic. The signposting on the second point, again, is also pretty clear. You do have to kind of put into context the argument here. You're in essence arguing a counterclaim just on the basis of these negative consequences, and I think the negative consequences are pretty good, and your explanation about why they apply is pretty good, but again, I think some direct response to the advocate's claims would be helpful. But it is pretty distracting to think about all of the potential problems and deficiencies that somebody who's sticking to a strict vegan diet would potentially suffer with the examples that you've got. I'm not sure how strong the evidence is, because it does sound like it's quite anecdotal, but of course we don't get a contrast to what the advocate's evidence is, and that's one of the reasons that you want to talk about the other side's arguments a little bit more, so that if you think in fact your evidence is superior, then you can make that contrasting statement. On the cost issue, the third point, again, you basically are relying on the arguments that you had on the first 2 points, that cost has to be measured in a variety of ways, including long-term health consequences, and I think that's a reasonable reinterpretation or way of minimizing the cost. I think there's some other things that you might be talking about as well when it comes to cost issues, but you didn't go that direction, so it wasn't that important. And again, I don't know what the quantification on the cost issue was, how substantial they would be, and I think maybe some minimization arguments would be useful here, especially given that your only response is, well, you have to look at the negative health effects that are going to occur. Because if those negative health effects weren't substantiated after, let's say, a resubstantiation, then you have no response on that third point, and even if the other 2 things got argued to a minimal, that might be a reason to accept the conclusion of the advocate in a longer debate. I thought you sounded a little bit like you were rushing, but you did have some nice personal touches, a little bit of humor and that sort of thing, and that makes it a little bit more, makes your persona a little bit more effective as an advocate.